talk about it. Let's do 10 minutes, 10 trades, or whatever we come up with here, and we'll go from there, right? We'll just see where we go. We'll see where we get to. I'm going to share some charts. I don't think that everything is a lost cause. I think, in fact, we're going to kick things off with one stock in particular that I think might be really interesting. I'm going to share my screen. It's going to temporarily look super weird as I do that, and then it should actually look pretty normal and nice. If this whole thing is blown, or if you can't hear my voice or something like that, then I apologize, and we'll do it again. So regardless of whether or not the market is screaming lower, there is a stock that I like, and this has been a strike zone stock. There's a service that I do called Strike Zone, and it's all about low-priced stocks that tend to be rocket ships. And you can see that goes down, it jumps up, it goes down, it jumps up, and then it goes down, and then it jumps up. This is just what I call a strike zone. Something enters the strike zone, and then it takes off. So I bought a little bit of Astrotech this morning. I bought 4,000 shares of Astrotech just a few minutes ago at probably $2.55 or so. I'd love for it to get to $3.20. I doubt that I would hang on for that long, but in the midst of a lot of craziness, that's one I like. One thing that I've been looking at today as I planned and took this trade is Tim's stocks to trade platform. Tim and I, for those of you that don't know Tim, his name is Tim Sykes. You probably see his YouTube videos and his Instagram all over the place. We flew from Miami to LA together, and he talked to me about the platform. And, you know, I kind of reacquainted myself with ASTC today using the stocks to trade platform. So I actually very much enjoy this platform. I'm not really into using lots of different kinds of tech, but I really like this. I like the level 2 quotes that are inside of this. I like the headlines that are inside of this. So anyway, I kind of referred back to this, and I actually kind of took a little bit of a look at the level 2 situation this morning as I took that trade. So that's all I want to say about Astrotech for now. I think what I'd like to do, if you don't mind, is I would like to jump over here to some of the most commonly traded stocks in the world, and I want to take a look at them, and I want to talk about where they are and where they might be going, and whether or not there's a good deal on some of these. Apple, as you know, is the world's most valuable company, or Amazon is, or who cares? But it's, you know, of course, it's a cult, the cult of Apple. So let me give you some levels here. A really important upcoming level is like 108 to 110. I would not be a buyer of Apple until that happens. If I miss something, I miss something. If I miss it, then above 124, I'd be interested in Apple again. Let's do Tesla. Thinking about, does anybody care about this? You can leave a comment on Facebook. If anybody cares, I'm thinking about doing a Tesla Tuesday. It would be like a every Tuesday or every other Tuesday live presentation, and it would cost $5 a month. Like you would just, that was it. And all we would do on Tuesday evenings is we'd look at Tesla, and we'd spend like 15 minutes together, and we'd plan the next trades on Tesla. I love the company. I love the cars, saving up all of my pennies. I really want a Roadster. I'm probably not going to get one, but I really love it. I do have a Cybertruck on order. I really love it. I don't even have it yet, and I really love it. And I'm going to trade in my Model X and get the Cybertruck, or maybe I'm just going to sell all my cars and not have any car. Maybe I'm just going to do that. Okay. Tesla is a really interesting one because we just had earnings. What I'm looking for is for Tesla to reach into the $400 area and bounce potentially. They keep reporting profits despite the economy sort of whatever. So here we go. Here's also a trend line. Convergence at 400 or so. I love a bounce at 400. I love that round number. It could drop to 398 very easily to stop some people out at the round number, 397. So it's a very expensive stock still for a lot of people to trade. But now on Robinhood and other places, you can trade fractional shares. So I wouldn't be involved with Tesla until some of that happens. One of my favorites right now is Netflix. Netflix, after earnings, I didn't read the earnings transcript, and we can maybe deal with that later. But there's a very what I would refer to as a very clear trade on Netflix above 495. and it could get to 500 very easily. This is, once again, this is kind of expensive-ish, right? It's a little bit rich. So you could buy, for example, if it breaks 495, you could buy the 490 calls that expire the 15th of January. These are going to be super expensive. Most people can't afford these. You could also jump in your platform and buy fractional shares. And I don't know how practical that is, but this week's weekly pivot, 505 or so, is a really neat target for Netflix. Now, if Netflix breaks the lows, then all heck breaks loose. And I listen, Netflix became a political stock. Somehow Netflix became, once again, I'm going to repeat this again so you can all appreciate how massively insane our world has become. It's not enough to call out networks for not being fair and balanced. It's not enough to call out, hosts on network shows and yell at each other on the air and scream at each other on Sunday mornings on those stupid political talk shows. It's not enough for that. Now we got to get mad at Netflix because there's a show on Netflix that you find offensive. Meanwhile, all the while, the world is filled with just garbage and negativity and filth, and it always has been. And you could all of you, you could just lay off the political stuff on Twitter for like an hour and check out The Unicorn on Netflix. It's a really sweet show about a man who lost his wife, and he's navigating the single parent situation. Someone's spamming me phone call. You could watch Tim Says Barbarians is really great. Or you could look up a good comedy. Right? Everybody needs a little bit good at comedy. ASTC. Let's just check this bad boy out. Up $324 on ASTC. I'm just going to take it. Let's do it. Okay, so boom, you're making some money. Everybody, doing some things and making some money. Great. So $300. It's nice to do a webinar and get some money. What else do we want to look at? Let's look at GE. I think GE is one of these just really amazing. It's like a super highly actively traded stock, and it jumped up after earnings. This is what I would refer to as a stock in the no trade zone. So this would be a no trade zone stock. I don't see anything here. I don't want anything to do with this. The only way that I would be interested in GE, and I think that there's some massive opportunity if the highs are broken above 8, or if the lows are broken below $7.10. Otherwise, I would stay away from this. I don't think it's worth your time, effort. Snap broke below my level of support, which would have triggered a trade. I think we're into trade 5 out of 10 trades in 10 minutes, and I'm sure I'll go longer than 10 minutes. This level is, I don't know, $41.20, let's just say. It broke below that level today and bounced right back up. Snap is a super resilient stock. Below the lows that it made, and I don't know what this low is, the low of the candle that you see today, the lows for today, let's just call that $40.70. It is going to hit $38. I had some puts. I bought puts on Friday, closed them yesterday. If it breaks $40.70, I would buy the $41 15th of January. This is not trading advice. Stop listening to me for trading advice. Puts. And then I would close it when it gets to 39. Okay. Just checking my phone for alerts and crap. I'm going to close or not? Okay, there we go. Let's look at okay, the financial stocks. Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, Citibank, and the like. There's not a chance on planet Earth that you could get me interested in any of these stocks. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. There's no way. Not this week anyway. These stocks are just getting absolutely annihilated. Twitter. Hey, Twitter. We've got a trade idea here for Twitter. I'm going to give you a bullish trade and a bearish trade. Jack Dorsey is testifying in front of Congress today. I think Jack Dorsey is the closest thing I don't want to say, maybe I should just shut my mouth. I think Jack Dorsey's the closest thing to Steve Jobs in the world today. Yeah, I'm not afraid to say that. He's running Square and Twitter. He's delegating a ton of stuff. It appears that he's a pretty great manager. He's supervised 2 companies that have blown through levels of resistance. Okay, so below $48.60, this stock goes down a lot. Above 51.50, Sammy Hagar. That's the Sammy Hagar level. I once had to check Sammy Hagar's credit when I worked at a job I worked at during law school. Isn't that kind of cool? He had great credit. He had great credit, even though David Lee Roth is the GOAT. Okay, Zoom. You know I hate this company. I don't hate the company. Jeez, that's so hateful. Okay, you know I don't think this company is worth very much. Zoom below this trend line will do this. It will go like this. It will bounce up to there, and then it will fall. There is no practical way, short of Facebook buying Zoom, there is no practical way for Zoom to justify or continue at this price to earnings ratio. It's impossible. I'm going to say that 1,000 times, and it's my opinion. All trading involves a substantial risk of loss. You should never listen to me. I'm a complete moron. Don't listen to me. There is no way. And if you know me at all, you know that I believe that stocks only go down. And I think that we are headed for at the precipice of the transition from one president to another, most likely. And that is usually a transition that marks the transition between stock market trends. This bullish trend has gone on longer and farther than most people would have thought it would go. And God bless America and whatever presidential candidate that you love. And enough already with calling each other names and whatever. Go to your neighbor, hug your neighbor, find someone who's on the other side of the aisle, go give them a hug. Stop accusing people of just all kinds of craziness. Don't get involved in somebody else's fight. Just make money together with me, and then we'll go on vacation together, and it will be a beautiful time. I think this is a head and shoulders pattern. I've already look. I'll do it again. I'll draw it again. Shoulder, head, shoulder. I think that then the distance that it falls is perfect. I'm gonna take that trade 9 times out of 9, 10 times out of 10. Let's do one more. Workhorse. What the fudge muffin is going on with this company? This is a really interesting also idea. And this is the yearly volume weighted average price. I think it's going to fall to that level. And I think we might get a nice little bounce at that level. I might even buy this stock at that level for a little bit of a bounce. Okay. Hey, listen, folks, this is what I want to do. I want to do Tesla Tuesdays. I want to do it for $5 a month. I want to do, it could be every Tuesday, could be every other Tuesday, but at least 2 times a month. A Tuesday evening, we look at Tesla and we set up the next trades on Tesla. And then we come back 2 weeks later and we close those trades and we move on to the next set of trades. That sounds friggin' awesome. And there's no bonuses or reports or indicators or anything. That's it. That's the whole thing. And then we record all of them and then we release those recordings as part of the whole shebang. What do you think? Leave me a comment below if you want that. Oh, PayPal. Thanks for finally moving, PayPal, you piece of garbage. I just closed that at a loss yesterday. God, we have to end on a negative note. I love you all. Thanks for being here, everybody. I really appreciate you. AMD to give a video announcement today. What about infrared service? I don't know. Ted Lasso, best show ever. Oh, I got to watch that. I love that guy. I love it. Take my money. When do we start? Okay, everybody, thank you so much for being here. You're the best ever. And I will be back probably if the market continues to go bananas, I'll be back later on, or otherwise I'll be back tomorrow. We'll see you later, everybody. We're getting all kinds of alerts now.